Everyone. It is Lori B. at Grungy Girl Journals. Thank you for stopping by to visit today. I have a flip through of my newest mini journal. Her name is Smitten, and I really am smitten with her. And the name came immediately after putting the cover together. I love these flowers. These came off of a piece of dangle lace. I just snipped them all off and put a French knot in between each or in the middle of each flower. I counted them and I can't remember how many there were. I think it was like 70 something, but I have since added some to the inside and there's a few on the back as well. So I've lost my count. I did this little skirt and I used my favorite wedding dress fabric. I was blessed to find it on Facebook Marketplace. Um, it's, I wish I could describe this material. It's very hard to come across. I don't know what it's called. I wish I would find another one exactly like the dress that I bought. This is pretty much the last of I think this was part of the train. And if you will see, it gradually gets smaller down here. And that's by design of whatever piece of the dress that it came off of. I'm thinking it was part of the train. I really can't remember, but you can see it's finished at the bottom. And I've used this ruffle to the point where I think after this, I have maybe one short piece left of usable as is. Um, I think the rest of what I have, I'll have to pleat myself. And like I did on the last mini journal I did, I pleated that myself and sewed it. But then I came across this. I'm so glad I did because it took out some of the work. And I just love it. And this is seam binding, just some tea stain seam binding. And I'm not sure where I got this lace. It might have been from Lavish Laces. I I really don't remember. But it's tea stained as well. And I did hide my stitches in the back. So that came together really cute. And this is Smitten. I believe this was a collar sent to me by a precious friend. I just kind of scrunched it up and sewed it into a ruffle. It's a piece of linen. And I just carried the flowers onto the back. And one of my Facebook friends, I had posted a picture of the full cover, and she picked up on what I was trying to convey, which is that the flowers were just kind of floating away in the breeze. Few of them. And let's see. I used a technique that I found on YouTube actually for my photo transfer. This is just using Liquitex matte gel on a digital, which is from CherylFrancisART. This is for Cheryl's on the front cover here. Uh, and it's just a transfer technique where you cover the photo, in this case a photo, with the matte gel medium, and then you place it down on your fabric, which in this case was linen, and smoothed it out and waited for it to dry. I think I waited at least 48 hours. That's probably not necessary, but I did a whole bunch of them all at once. Once it dries, you peel the the paper off with you use water and you just rub it off, and this is what you're left with. Now I use a laser printer. I'm not sure how this works with just a regular inkjet printer, but I love the results. It almost, you know, it looks like a canvas, and I got really good results with this one. I think this is my favorite Cupid. Then we come to the inside, and here I just added some more of the flowers with the French knots. And this is a beautiful, delicate hanky. I did not want to cut it. It was the perfect width this way, but it was too long. So what I did was I just folded it up and then folded it back on itself and created a pocket so that I wouldn't lose any of the hanky. And you can see it's just sewn on. And all of this is hand stitched. And I will be listing the digitals where I got these digitals in the description box below. So the front and the back has a pocket, my signature card, and the front and the back also has, I call these the fly papers. They're you know, a regular book usually has the blank couple of pages at the front and the back of the book. So this is more of that wedding dress fabric. I've tea stained it as well. And it's just tacked in here and here. And it can be snipped off if you want to use it or if it bothers you. So I love it. Created with love. Love these digitals. This is Cheryl Francis as well. I know this is Cheryl Francis. She is on Etsy. I've had this trim for a while. I think this is pretty much the last of it. I might have a couple of little pieces left, but I usually don't use a double piece of it, but this book really, it just loved the way it hung on the side. So I used a double amount. That's hard to do. Oops. Little wedding buttons, covered wedding dress buttons. This did not come off the same wedding dress. I got another wedding dress. I think I did a video on, I think it was Instagram, and it was shared to Facebook of a beautiful dress that I found. Where did I find that? It was on eBay, and it had zillions of buttons on it. So happy with that. I mean, every once in a while you just come across these things and they're priced to where you can afford it. And I try not to purchase things that I want to be able to use the whole thing, not just, you know, not just the buttons. I want to be able to use the fabric and the lace. I pretty much have to like everything about it. And this dress was so perfect, and it did have some staining, so it's not going to be hard to cut apart. But for now, I have it hanging in my closet because I really just want to look at it. I'm still at that stage, but I did snip a couple of buttons off. And this is an enamel heart, and I forgot that I had these. I think they came from Fire Mountain Gems, which is a website I used a long time ago for different jewelry findings when I did jewelry. I'm gonna go a little faster. So I can't remember the name of the digitals that these tags came from. It was a lot of fussy cutting, a lot of irregular asymmetrical cutting, which I'm not a big fan of, but the digitals are so beautiful that I really didn't mind. And Cheryl Francis, that's one of her Cupids right there on a book page. I like using tea stained paper throughout. It's a little cluster I did. It's hard to use these buttons. I know y'all understand that. Vintage mother of pearl buttons. This is a foreign book, I think. I'm not sure what language that is, but it's pretty. A couple of little vintage doilies. Another one of those tags I made into a belly band. The first step is the dream. Isn't this lace pretty? It's a very unusual color. It's I got this on eBay a few years ago, and I've never seen anything like it before. Very, very beautiful. And I was lucky enough to get probably a yard of that. And I just used another strip of lace and intertwined some seam binding there. It's from 1926. And some French to English dictionary folios. This is another digital seller piece, a beautiful piece of lace applique there. A paper cluster. These are fun to put together. I really enjoy these little mini books. I'm glad that I switched to the minis for a while, and I think I'm going to keep doing them for a little while longer. It's not that I got burnt out on the larger journals. I get white page syndrome when there is just a big, I feel like there's such a big canvas to cover. And these small ones, although they have their challenges, I just find them, they come together more quickly, and they're so interesting. I love looking at them. This is an old check stub. Beautiful green color. Remember, gymnasium members ticket. Flower. Some onion skin. My favorite number. Some sparkly lace, little cutouts. And this, I did some embossing on from a vintage paper from a book, one of the fly papers, the blank fly papers from the beginning of the book, and it had some beautiful aging on it. And I ran it through the embossing machine too many times. The paper was a little too fragile, and it started cracking um, around the embossing. So I still wanted to use it, so I just kind of tore it as best I could in an interesting shape, and I used a glue stick to glue that on. It reminds me of stenciling. And surprisingly, I did not lose much of the embossing by using glue. But one thing I didn't want to do is use a very wet glue like art glitter glue, because I think that would have um, compromised the embossing. So I used a glue stick very carefully. I think this is that book that teaches you how to speak French. It will never teach me how to speak French, but I believe it tells you where to put your emphasis on words and things like that. Just did a tag cluster here with one of the Cupids and tied it on. This is a pocket. I love this XO. And that goes around the whole, I believe it's a table runner. I put a little charm on this one, and it says, cute as a button. And then the other side is a little girl from my charm bracelet making days. I always like to put shorthand on mine. This is from a vintage christening dress. More Cupids. Just a tag and a tag. Some more of that embossed paper. And I just wanted to show you the solution to the problem I came up with. You know, you use lace on a page and then behind a pocket, and it'll catch. It'll catch going in and out of the pocket. And that was happening. So what I ended up doing was using a discarded book page from a smaller, I believe it's French to English dictionary, and just glued that in the back so that it had something to slide on. And I love the way that came out. This is from the book Great Expectations. This is a pocket in the middle of the journal. It slips right in there. And I believe this is Ruby and Pearl XO from her digitals. And this is Cheryl Francis. I've been asked several times what I use on some of my pages to kind of give it it's kind of a sheen. Um, it's not glossy, but it ages the paper a bit. I also use the vintage photo distress ink around the edges, but I also use, where is it? Here it is. I get this on Etsy. Stains by Patty Pockets, and this is the vintage color. She also has a blue and a green. I haven't tried those yet, but as you can see, I'm getting low. I just bought this too not too long ago. Reasonably priced. I have found that you have to use it pretty quickly. I've been keeping mine in the refrigerator. This is something homemade that she does, and I've been buying it for a few years. I really like it. It takes a while to get used to working with it. I will say that. Um, you just need to experiment with it. Another paper cluster. This is a paper clip. Seam binding. And that, I don't know if you can see it, that's a heart from a table runner. And this cute postcard. This is from a sleeve, a Victorian. It was probably a Victorian blouse. Very, very fragile. Had some staining on it. A friend sent it. Had a satin undergarment, and the ruffles are ruching. I guess that would be called. So pretty. It's like a chiffon, Cupid charm. So I wanted to show some of the satin as well, and it's it's got some threading, and it was hand ditched, but to me that just makes it all the more interesting. Didn't want to load it up too much because I want the owner to be able to add their own things to it. And I love this paper, so I did not want to completely cover it up. That's one of the problems I have with tea staining paper is I think they're so pretty and it's hard to cover it up. So I don't. This is a foreign language. Not sure what that is, but it's beautiful. This is another paper clip. Some of the wedding dress fabric that I just scrunched up and sewed into a little, I'm not sure what that is. This is the edge of a napkin, a linen napkin, and it's one that I hand dyed. And this beautiful vintage lace. And this came from a runner. And this, my friend Big Mama sent me. Hi, Big Mama. Thank you. I love you. Oops. It's a marriage announcement from 1932. Eva, Julia, and Finn in Rumford, Maine. Sorry about the shadows. We had a storm here. Actually, it didn't end up being much of a storm. It was just a bunch of dark clouds and a little bit of spatter of rain, and it was gone, but it made the house very dark. So I kind of waited a little bit to film, but I still have some shadows. And this is a birthday card. I thought that the colors went really well. And I've never seen one like this. It's actually got a patent. And I didn't notice this when I got it. And I think Big Mama sent this to me as well. Not sure. And it says right here, and I didn't notice this when she first sent it. It says a complete song inside. So you open it up and it is fragile. I think I'm going to put a little more tape on this before I send it on. It's a song and it's called Dream Bells. Got a beautiful aging color to it. See how it's right there. But I sewed it in. No, I didn't. I tipped it in, but I wanted you to be able to open it up. So it's kind of have to be careful with it. And it does have a patent. I just love that. Another paper cluster. Did I say these were fun to make? They really are. pink parchment paper that I dyed. So this is a writing journal. I filled it with some interesting bits. It came together so nicely, but I still wanted the new owner to be able to write in it if they wanted to. Some really pretty lace here. And I believe this is another Big Mama ephemera. Isn't that pretty? 1925 Municipal Hall School Garden Entertainment Program. I mean, who would have known? Sorry about that. Who would have known that something like this could be so exciting? Getting it all these years later, and I didn't do a thing to that. That's all. That's all natural, original patina. It's like a little treasure. And I don't have a lot of original ephemera. I kind of had to make a decision when I started making these journals that, okay, do I want lace? Do I want lace or do I want ephemera? I can make ephemera, but I can't make lace. And I love using original ephemera, but it is very expensive and it's hard to find here in Jacksonville, Florida. I don't. It seems like the more up north you go, the more available it is. But I don't know where they're hiding it down here. But I've kind of stopped looking because it's just I'm usually disappointed when I go out. I can't find any. Here's the last page. I put some glossy accents on her. And that is the end. Really, really enjoyed making this one. Sorry if that was boring. I don't know. I don't know where my words are today. They're off somewhere. Thank you for joining me. Say hi to Louie, my sweetheart. She's been gone for a while now. Thank you for coming by. Please leave a comment. I'm not the best at getting back to replying to comments, but I want you to know how much I appreciate it. And I love doing this. I want to continue doing it. I have lots of stuff that I can do it with. So I want to keep doing it. And I love hearing what you think about it. So give me a comment, give me a like. It always helps. And I will see you next time. Bye. Here's my arm. Bye.